So, hello there. We are here to explain and give you a little clue about how to get involved in a great British education system. I have a lovely guest here with me, Rita, who is a student, but a foreigner student. So that's why it's very important, her position, because how she started here in the United Kingdom, that's what we could expect from the others who are coming to the country. Obviously this video is going to be prepared for foreigners who are coming to in this country and would love to follow Rita's actually career, because she just handled her paper to university. So welcome here.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello. So we would love to ask you, please, if you could think back in the past, how was when you get involved in the UK's education system, and how you get on with the different language, with the different system, because where the country you come from, she is from Hungary, it's a totally different system. So we would love to see how you could get on actually with the different system. How were the teacher, the classmates, were they nice to you, or were they nasty, or how they behaved to you? So if you could give us some idea, please.
The education system in England is very different from most of Europe, so coming here was a really big change. The people were very nice, I cannot complain for a single moment. They were really welcoming and very understanding of my, actually at the time, quite limited knowledge of English. They spoke very slowly, they were very nice.
Sometimes patronizing.
Sometimes quite patronizing, that's true, especially when they thought I didn't understand a single word and they were speaking with this really thick, brummy accent, but as slow as a snail, and I was just standing there and wondering what they were saying.
But it's much better rather than, you know, just speaking very quickly. Yeah. Yes, it's normal, but I think, yes, I like
They did give me a chance.
Fantastic.
The teachers were very welcoming as well. The relationship between students and teachers is much more informal than I had ever known in Hungary. It's not that there's a lack of respect or anything, but the teachers speak to students much more as equals, rather than with some superiority and authority. Yeah, it was very welcoming. The education system, I could say, is a little bit more relaxed than otherwise. So other than the language difficulties, I didn't really worry about being behind in.
Oh, I see.
So
they gave you enough time to catch up.
They definitely did, yes.
So you haven't been penalized or pushing a little bit or treating differently because they said, okay, you came from a different country, so you need more time. In a good way, they providing you good time, but you never felt you being a little bit kind of, how can I put it in nicely, so you never been criticized for your status.
Never. Discrimination is strongly against any kind of English attitude, so question asking is very much encouraged. If I fell behind with anything, I should have, immediately said, and they helped me out. If there were any more long-term difficulties, such as for me with the language, my parents found an English tutor outside school that I could go to along with my sister, and she could help us with skills that otherwise would have been, the English people would have found it much easier to acquire, like essay writing and other skills like that. But in the school they were very supportive.
Oh, that's fantastic. And which age of you started to get involved here, or how the whole process actually happened? What have you done, what you have to done to be able to get involved in this? At that time you've been in A level, or which level you joined to the classes?
Well, the first time I came was back in year 2, and then when I had no knowledge of English at all, I think I remember that I had a teacher assigned to help me out with English whilst I learned the language. Recently when I came out, it was in year 8, which is back in those days we had an exam called SATs that we had to sit, so it was preparing for those exams. So it was no important exam that could have determined anything.
That's great. And now Rita is in a very important position, because she just actually handed her application form to the university. So if you could a little bit give some details how we can manage our application, or how we can decide, or how actually the entire system works, when we can decide it, when. So I'll give it back to you because I have just questions. So
choosing a university has a whole really long procedure in England. You have to start a year before you would like to apply. I started at the end of lower sixth, which is the penultimate year of secondary school education, and after writing my exams I looked at universities and went to open days where I could find out about the different universities, different courses, any entrance requirements that they wanted, and I could find out more about those. The application deadline is October the 15th for the more competitive courses.
Oh, just 2 days ago.
Just 2 days ago.
You must be a little bit stressed out.
It's very exciting because you only know your lower sixth AS results, and you have to your teachers give you predicted grades, and you have to think ahead and find a course that you think would suit you, and the application for those, you have to apply to 5 universities. So
you have to, or you cannot just apply. I determined to go for Oxford. I just put everything like in a
brave,
casino.
very brave.
in that university. Can I do that or I can't?
You can.
Mm.
You would be very brave to do that.
Yes.
Putting all your eggs in one basket is something very few people do. Although applying simply to one university, I think, is cheaper because.
Is it costly?
It costs about £20, I think. I might be wrong. I'm not sure of that.
That's fine.
And I think applying to just one is 12.
That's your parents' business. We don't care how much they pay. So that's
credit card number,
yes.
and that's it.
That's all.
But no, very few people do that. The only course that's different is medicine, because that's so competitive that only 4 choices are allowed for that, because you would have to be interviewed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. So then you send off your application by email or by post, and what's happening next? So what, you need to just pray for the next half a year, or what do you do?
Essentially, yes.
Oh dear.
You will know what the entry requirements are, so you will know the minimum you would have to get in your exams, basically study hard to get those grades. Other than that, you wait until about January when all the universities have their deadline, and they will give you an answer soon after that, whether they will give you an offer. Mm-hmm. These are usually conditional offers, and they say, okay, if you get 3 A's, then you're in, for example. So.
Oh, I see. So it is very, very unique to me, probably to you as well, because we came from the same country. Because back in Hungary, the system, just a little information. All students are working very, very hard for get as much points, as much success they can get, but they don't know where is the limit. Mm-hmm. But comparing to here, you know what you need to achieve
before the exams.
Yes. A year ahead. Am I right?
Well, half a year ahead.
Half a year ahead, and then it's then to you. Are you able to achieve it or not? So there is no because if it's 8,000 people achieve that, they guarantee.
Then 8,000 people will get the place.
That's brilliant, because back in probably all countries are working differently, but in Hungary, if there is a limited number which the unit can take, and then if you are below only 1 point of the level, you won't get there. So it is absolutely fantastic and a very eager system. So everyone get a chance. I really appreciate it. So I think it's fantastic.
Sometimes some courses can be really oversubscribed. I'm not sure how they do this. I think it's some sort of statistics. So they won't give a lot more offers than the amount of places they have. They will assume that some people will decline. They will assume that some people will simply drop out. If they are accepted as an insurance, then they won't worry too much about it. But yeah, essentially, if you get the grades and you have an offer from them, then there is nothing the university can say.
That's very good. So now we need to pray for you, am I right? Or you get already some information?
I've already got one offer from Glasgow, which I received a few days ago, so that's really exciting. It's thankfully quite a low offer. It's only ABB, so...
Gives a peace of mind.
Yeah. Hopefully next year I will go to university, basically.
Brilliant. Congratulations to achieve it already. And what do you think, if you could remember, what is the most important think what you would say to the foreigners, how they can prepare to be able to apply here in the UK to get the same situation, to get same level as you are now. So what they have to do there?
If you're coming here during secondary school or even primary school, I would say the most important thing for the child is to know the language. So as much as possible, try and polish up your English and get ready for that. If you need any help, the teachers will be schools will be more than happy to help you out, and extracurricular stuff as well. Tutors outside school are very useful, especially if you think that the child has some difficulty in the language. I would say just go for it. Everybody's very helpful.
Lovely. And we know that all schools, they require to wear a uniform age of 16. Then the schools can decide it individually. Are they going to keep still this rule or not? How about in your school?
In our school it's compulsory to wear uniform until year 11, which is age 16. The last 2 years, which is sixth form, we have a business dress code, which means we have to come in...
Professional already.
Very professional. It's all about presentation at our school, basically. We have to wear matching suits, so same fabric off the same shelf in the same shop, which they're very strict about. Only last week I was sent home because
really?
My...
To be naughty?
Well, I was brave enough to wear a dress which did not match with my jacket and in fabric, and I was taken aside by the deputy head whilst we were going in for assembly, and I was explained to that this is not acceptable, and I was sent home to get dressed
so
and
you
come
see,
back.
Be careful.
Some schools can be very strict about that kind of thing.
I really appreciate it because I think there is no difference between the student.
No discrimination.
No discrimination. Doesn't matter if the students coming from a wealthy family and they can wear all of the posh and exclusive and very expensive clothes, and the other won't be able. So there is a same level for everybody. I think it's a brilliant system. How about the nail polish, makeups? What you can do, what you can't? Just something information.
Again, quite school dependent how strict they are with this. At my previous school, it was a girls' school, they were quite strict about it, and they would have a nail polish remover at the deputy head's office, maybe, or some other senior member of staff, and if they saw that you have quite noticeable nail varnish on, then they would send you there. You would have to pay about £1, I think, and they would take it off for you.
That's good.
Yeah.
I should do that. It's a good business, just cleaning the ladies' nails every morning.
Yeah.
10, 15, it's a good pocket money, so someone has to do it.
And also they were quite strict about tying up hair, so I think one of the most used phrases was "tie your hair back please" in that school.
You learned in the first day probably.
Yeah, well, you would think that, and
well,
a lot of girls still had
that time.
Yeah. Other schools aren't so strict with it. I think some still say, you shouldn't have nail varnish on and no makeup, but I mean, if it's not really obvious, then they kind of let it go, as long as you don't look like a painted doll or something.
Okay, fantastic, thank you very much. So, you see, there is a hard worker and everyone can get in the situation, so absolutely everything achievable here in the UK. Just some more basic information. I'm going to record it very soon with a teacher to explain the entire education system from the very low level, very starting at the schools and from the nursery. So if you would be interested, just come back and have a look at my YouTube channel. Video will be presented very soon. So that's why we didn't want to get involved Rita heavily how the entire system works. We wanted to know her experience, because I think that's the most encouraging stuff when you hear somebody already achieved whatever is others just dreaming of it. So that was for you as well, I guess. You just dreamt, oh, I would love to be there, and now you're sitting here in the UK. Fantastic. So we would love to say a huge thank you on behalf of everybody, hopefully the entire world watching you, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic, and we hope we're going to see you soon in a year or a couple of years, seeing a fantastic, very successful student and later on building up a huge career.
Hopefully not unemployed.
Yes, and we wish you all the best. Thank you
Thank
very
you
much
very
for your
much.
time. We hope you like the sweets, so please
Thank you very
accept
much.
it. Thank you. All the best to you.
Thank you, and all the best to you too.
Yes, so fingers crossed, go ahead, whatever you dream of, just do it because you can achieve it. So we wish you all the best, and then please come back visit us on YouTube or even on Facebook, so you can find all the details and you can follow us on our website as well. So all the best, take care, and see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye bye.